I am back today with a review or overview of a handgun that I was not planning on making. I actually ordered this from an online distributor, used, and they sent me the wrong gun. I ordered a Smith& Wesson Shield Plus. That's my current carry gun. They were offering a deal. I like to run two of them, one keeping as my current carry gun, and if it's going to be my carry gun in a long-term test evaluation, I like to get a second. So I purchased the original and then I purchased the second one, but what showed up was this. For about a week and a half, they tried to locate the original. I'm not going to say the dealer because they definitely made it right. They let me keep this gun at the same price as I purchased the other one, except for they gave me $50 back or the option of sending it back for a full and complete refund. They made it right on their end. They got the serial number. They accounted for their books, but they couldn't find the other gun that they were supposed to be sending me. So I end up getting this for a fairly good price and then $50 off that good price because of their error. So I'm definitely pleased with the customer service. Now, this gun was never on my list to take a look at. One, because me personally, I don't have a spot for it. And a lot of times when I'm looking at a handgun like this, there are a lot better options out there when it comes to things for just basic concealed carry for everyday use. For instance, the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus. It holds more rounds. It's slimmer. I think it's got a little bit better trigger. It's more compact. It's easy to shoot and carry. But what this is aimed towards is not necessarily like a full-size nightstand gun or a main duty gun or even a concealed carry gun. It's more of a hybrid for newer shooters or people with a little bit of troubles racking a slide, maybe loading a magazine, having arthritis in their hands or a little bit weaker frame. This is a gun specifically designed around them and also has a lot of safeties built into the gun for potentially newer shooters to be more safe. Now, that's where I kind of disagree a little bit. If you are a newer shooter, you should never rely on the safeties built into your gun to keep you safe. You should rely on your training, your understanding, and your knowledge of firearms to keep you safe. And a mechanical safety on a gun will never take that responsibility from you. That responsibility is 100% on you. But with that being said, there are some features on here, like the extended safety that works out very nicely, and the grip safety that I could take or leave. Honestly, I would like to leave it, but it is what it is. It's on the gun. And again, this one is designed for a little bit newer shooters or shooters that aren't necessarily new to the shooting sports, but may have weak hand dexterity, again, arthritis, things like that. So the first thing I want to discuss is the capacity. Now, these are single stack mags that hold 8 rounds, so initially you're already limited. There are so many other options, even from Smith & Wesson, that are better than this, but that's not what this is designed for. It's designed to be a straight, easy-to-load magazine with tabs on the side that you can pull down with both fingers to load one at a time without things getting bound up. And man, did they do a good job with these. They're designed to be easy loading, and they are some of the easiest loading mags I've ever used. They work, they're reliable, they're great. So I'm really glad I actually got a chance to try this because I would have never grabbed it otherwise. But a lot of these design features, especially the mags, are working out well. The next thing is ergonomically. It's not very big. It's not very small. It's comfortable for most size hands. A larger frame person or a smaller frame person can get a good purchase on this handgun. The grip safety, it works. The grip safety works. It does what it's supposed to do. I'm going to stop talking about it. I'm not a fan, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It does a good job. The beaver tail comes up nicely and protects your hand from slide bite, and it gives you a very good spot to hold the gun. And that, again, is great for newer shooters. It allows you to get a good purchase on it with protecting you from the slide. The mag release operates simply. It works out well. There's no issues there. It drops free. It's easy to load. The trigger well is fairly large, and the trigger itself is pretty decent. It's got a very smooth take-up and a crisp, light break. So again, not too heavy for somebody with weaker fingers, but not too light to where you feel like you're accidentally going to pull the trigger in a stressful scenario. The other cool thing about the slide, it's got really nice slide serrations and a lip on the back to help you chamber around, which is going to be key, again, if you have weaker hands. So that's nice, and it's also a light rack design. So this is easier to rack than some of its other competitors. Is it like a ton easier? It still has to function with the same moment of inertia, mass damper system that all Browning tilt lock actions do, so it does need some spring tension and weight. But overall, it's actually fairly easy to rack this, and it loads smooth. That reduced spring, I believe, is made up for by a longer slide action, potentially more weight. I'm not the engineer who designed this, but it works. It works out well. The safeties themselves on this are perfect. Some of the best safeties I've ever felt on a handgun, and that's where Smith & Wesson really shines. They work. They're easy. You can ride your thumb over top of them to get a good hold and rattle off shots. They're audible. They're tactile. No issues with the safety. They've done a really good job on that, although it does widen the gun significantly, again, making it a little bit harder to conceal carry or carry in general, but with the benefit that the fact that they're easy to use, they're not hard, somebody with gloved hands can use them. And again, somebody a little bit newer to firearms can understand that and use that a little bit easier than some of those flush safeties. It's got the pick rail at the top, very basic white dot iron sights, a little bit of cocking serrations on the front, and overall it's a great handgun when it comes to reliability and shootability. Now I want to discuss that. Down at the range, the recoil impulse was very good for a 9mm, especially a compact 9mm. I'd say this had a lighter recoil impulse than a standard Glock 19, and the Glock 19 is definitely larger than this. It was also very smooth at the range to chamber load. The ejection pattern was great. I had no issues with this gun. In fact, I was very quick with this gun and fallen in love with this gun down at the range. It's just a great shooting handgun. I mean, I love it. I really wish they made this gun with like a 10 to 12 round capacity, and man, this would go 100% into the carry rotation. And in fact, this might actually go into the carry rotation because I want to try this out in a few different scenarios, and maybe I'm misjudging it on its carry capabilities. But 8 rounds plus 1 in the mag, 9 rounds. It's not the greatest, but it's also not the worst. Like, I've seen worse handguns out there, especially with the fact that it's so smooth, easy to shoot, hit your target, transition from target to target. I really like it. Now, before we finish up, I do want to give a huge shout out to Callaway Ballistics for sponsoring the 9mm ammo to help make this video. I shot some of their new man and reman stuff. They just did restocks and price drops about a month ago. They also have 300 Blackout, Subsonic 9, and a wide variety of other calibers. Definitely check them out. I also have the code 704 Tactical for free shipping on ammo orders over $200, so check them out. So in summary, if you struggle to operate a basic handgun, or you know somebody who might struggle to chamber a round in a standard semi-automatic firearm, if you know somebody who doesn't mind a slightly larger gun, but a slightly limited capacity in the sense that it's easier to shoot, it's comfortable, it's reliable, it's accurate, and it's not a lot of recoil, and it's just overall easy to operate, this is an absolutely great handgun. I think it does everything it was set out to design to do. Honestly, to make this handgun perfect, in my opinion, would be to remove the grip safety. I would leave this safety. That works out just fine. And increase the capacity to about 12 to 15 rounds in the same frame. Don't know if it's possible, but man, is this awesome. I've fallen in love with it. I think you'll like it, but there are the limitations of the Shield EZ, and I tried to go over all of them so you guys can make a better educated decision. If you want more information about my channel to find daily deals, you can subscribe to me on Patreon. You can also follow me on my Instagram page for daily deals, and check out the campsite page in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.